We now welcome the number 10 ranked UFC welterweight contender in the world, Vicente Luque. Vicente, thank you for the time today, sir.
Hey, thank you, guys.
We will take the first set of questions from Jim Varsalone with the Miami Herald.
Thank you. I was curious, how did the training go for you, and were you training at Sanford MMA for the fight?
Yeah, so for this training camp, I decided to stay in Brazil at Cerrado MMA. It's the other team I'm part of. And even though I was training in Brazil, I'm always in touch with the guys at Sanford. I'm always in touch with Henry Hooft and Gilbert Burns. They're always, helping me out with this. And they also talk to my coach back in Brazil with Daniel. They're gonna be cornering me for this fight, and it was a great training camp. I feel really good, really ready for this fight, and can't wait for Saturday night.
Oh, you mentioned Gilbert, so Gilbert will be in your corner, and you were in his corner when he fought Usman. What's it like, just that dynamic of you guys when you're able to train together, and just helping each other out and cornering each other?
Yeah, that's something that it has been, really important for both of us in our career. We kind of we train with each other. We really know each other's style, so that helps a lot when we're cornering each other. That fight, it's different when I have a coach that is telling me something to do, and when I have a fighter that is telling me something to do. Gilbert can give me instructions that are much more simplified, and he already knows what the kind of things that fit my style and that I could do against my opponent. And the same thing when I'm cornering him, I know the right things that I got to tell him, and they're going to work right away. So that's really important. And also, he's an ace in the ground game and jiu-jitsu. And, I have some really good striking. So that's how we also help each other out. I kind of make his striking better. He makes my grappling better. And we try to help each other out.
During this whole pandemic, everything has changed so much with training. Have you been to Sanford MMA since it became Sanford MMA, that really beautiful facility and training center they have there? And if you have, what have you thought about it?
Yes, I have been there. At the end of last year, I was about 1 month over there training, and it's a beautiful facility. They accomplished something amazing over there. I think there is nothing like it, in MMA. And yeah, it's an honor to be part of that team, to be able to train with such high level guys, high level coaches. And now with that great facility, we couldn't ask for anything else.
And lastly, for me, just your thoughts on the fight coming up, and what if you when you get the victory, where does the victory take you? What is the next step in getting this victory?
Yeah, the expectations for this fight are really good. I feel super ready, and I think it's going to be an action-packed fight. Every single fight of mine, I bring the aggressiveness, the action, and that's what I'm going to do in this one. I see a finish for myself. I don't know if it's going to be a submission or a knockout, but I do see myself finishing this fight. And all the focus is here right now. I can't tell you who I'm going to fight next because I first got to beat Woodley. But beating a former champion, I think, is going to set me up for great things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will take our next set of questions from Colin Crandall with the MMA Power Hour.
Hey, Vicente, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Good to talk to you, my friend. We spoke on my show about 6 months ago. I really appreciate your time and really excited for you for this matchup. It's an interesting one for you. This is probably the most pure wrestling based opponent you will have faced. And can you tell me, have you spent a lot of time focusing on wrestling for this camp? I believe over the years you've been doing that more and more. But what's been your focus as far as wrestling and your thoughts about facing an opponent who's a little bit different than past opponents?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the toughest opponents I'm gonna face to this day, and it's a little bit different, right? He's not a striker; he's more of a wrestler, and I think that's really good for me because looking up the division, there are a lot of wrestlers. So I think it's the kind of test I need right now to get to that next level. And I've been working a lot on my wrestling. Back in Brazil, we have a Cuban coach. He used to be from the national team in Cuba, and Cuba has one of the best wrestling in the world. So I'm really confident that I've been improving a lot in this aspect, and I'm going to be ready for Saturday night.
Absolutely. Now, I know Gilbert is your friend and training partner, and some people who may not be that knowledgeable would just think, well, do exactly what Gilbert did. But you're different fighters. But is there something you can take from that match that he had? Because that was the most recent, I think, for Tyron, and it kind of shows the level that Tyron is at compared to where he used to be. So, are there some things you can take from what your friend was able to accomplish against him?
Yeah, like you said, we got different styles, but I think the pressure that Gilbert put on his fight is something I can take from that. Naturally, I'm a pressure fighter. I do always look to fight forward to put pressure against my opponents. And I saw that when Gilbert fought Tyron, that was something that Gilbert did, and it paid off. It worked really well. So I figured that I can do that as well. It's all already in my style, and it's something that I plan to do.
Absolutely. Last question for me. You have a lot of confidence in your chin and your ability to take a punch, and I think that's one of the things that puts you at the great level that you're at, is that you're not afraid to stand and jump into the fire. One of the things that Tyron always had was that big right hand, and I've heard some media people say, man, if Vicente just doesn't even respect that punch at all and is just smiling and ready to take that punch, maybe it's not going to be such a smart thing. What's your thought on that? Just trading with Tyron.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I have a hard chin, but I'm not trying to put it out there and just get punched for free. There's no reason why I would like to receive that right hand. Tyron Woodley can hit really hard, so the plan is not to be there. I want to close my guard or move my head away from that. But at the same time, that chin gives me the confidence to put myself in positions where I can, be aggressive. I can bring the striking, and pressure him with that striking, and not be that worried about what he's gonna bring. Because not only my chin, but I also have, a defense. I have head movement. I have good skills that kind of give me the confidence that where I can strike and not be so worried that I gotta defend myself and not open up. I feel comfortable to open up my striking and do what I got to do. And in the worst case scenario, hopefully I'm going to have the chin to take it, but that's not the first plan. I'm not going to hold his punch only with my chin.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. Well, I'm excited. Can't wait to see the action. I'm sure you're going to do very well, man. You go do what you do. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Sue McDonough with Sports Kita.
Okay.
Vicente, welcome back, and I hope you're doing well. So you're facing a former division champion in Tyron Woodley this weekend, who is almost in a must-win situation right now. That being said, what sort of fight are you expecting this weekend, and what do you think Woodley brings to the table, knowing that his back is against the wall after 3 straight losses?
Yeah, I mean, Woodley is not in his best moment. He's coming off 3 losses. But I always like to say, I mean, he lost to the 3 best in the world, the number 1, 2, and the champion. So there is no way that you can say that he's done. I don't see him like that. I think he's a very dangerous fighter. And I think he wants to go back to the winning, to go get back to that winning column. And that's what I see, a Woodley that is going to try to get a big win over me and step right back to eventually fight for a title. And that's what I'm ready for the best Woodley. I want to face the best Woodley so that I can show my potential, show that I'm here to become a champion as well. And yeah, I mean, I cannot underestimate this guy. No way.
And for you, you're ranked at number 10 at the moment, but where do you think a win yourself or in the division?
Yeah, I think a win over Woodley right now is going to set me up to fight somebody in the top 5. I think that's a big thing. But my focus is on this fight. I cannot say a name. I don't know who I'm going to face after this. But definitely a win over a guy that has been the champion is going to set me up for great things.
Sumik, did you have another question, sir? Okay, we will move on. We will take the next set of questions from Cote Cruz with 4 to Win MMA.
Hola Vicente, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, estoy bien.
Te saludo desde Santiago de Chile. Un gusto poder conversar contigo hoy día.
Mucho gusto, qué bueno saber que hay gente ahí en Santiago mirando.
Somos pocos los que estamos haciendo patria, pero aquí estamos. Vicente, tus últimas dos peleas fueron prueba de que el Silent Assassin hay para rato. Tras tu derrota ante Wonderboy Thompson, has lucido imparable, deteniendo a Nico Price y más recientemente a Randy Brown. ¿Podrías hablarme del impacto que tuvo en ti el enfrentamiento contra Steven Thompson?
Sí, para mí esta pelea con Thompson fue una donde aprendí mucho. Yo vi el nivel que están los cinco mejores de la división. Yo creo que es un nivel diferente y vi que yo puedo llegar a este nivel, pero tenía que hacer algunas correcciones, mejorar en algunas cosas y ganar más experiencia. Y eso creo que gané esas cosas ahora y hoy estoy preparado para pelear a este nivel y llegar a los cinco mejores y después a un título.
Bueno, son casi 3 años desde que peleaste en Chile como parte de UFC Santiago. En esa oportunidad finalizaste a Chad Laprise en el primer round de un Movistar Arena que estaba en llamas gritando tu nombre. Desde Santiago en adelante tuviste que lograr una racha de 4 victorias para poder cruzarte con alguien como Steven Thompson. Ahora, con una racha de 2 consecutivas, logras finalmente abrochar una pelea contra el ex campeón del mundo, Tyron Woodley. ¿Sientes que ya entraste a ese punto en tu carrera donde serás más considerado para peleas de alto perfil?
Sí, eso siento. Yo creo que el estilo de pelea que tengo, las personas están empezando a reconocer. El UFC me está reconociendo por eso. Y creo que de ahora voy a seguir peleando con grandes nombres porque yo traigo un estilo que las personas quieren mirar, quieren ver mis peleas. Siempre que voy a pelear, yo tengo el apoyo de muchos fanáticos, de las personas de MMA. Saben que va a ser una pelea con mucha agresión, con mucha actividad. Entonces, yo creo que eso me ayuda mucho y de ahora siento que voy a seguir subiendo la división.
Bueno, sobre la pelea del fin de semana, ¿sientes que se vuelve más peligroso enfrentarse a un Woodley que actualmente está un poquito contra la pared en su carrera?
Yo creo que sí, yo creo que él viene muy agresivo para esta pelea porque cuando uno está perdiendo las peleas, uno quiere ganar. Por lo menos yo soy así. Cuando pierdo con una pelea, eso me da mucho más ganas para entrenar y para llegar a mi próxima pelea y mostrar a todos que estoy mejor y que estoy de vuelta. Entonces eso imagino de Woodley. Yo creo que él viene muy agresivo para esta pelea, muy preparado y espero que así sea porque yo estoy preparado para el mejor Woodley posible.
Vicente, ¿y dónde consideras más peligroso a Woodley para este sábado? ¿Dónde crees tú que el peligro está en ti ahí?
Yo creo que él tiene dos herramientas muy fuertes. Una es su wrestling, entonces él tiene un wrestling muy bueno que sí, él quiere usarlo y yo me imagino que use porque yo tengo un striking mejor. Yo tengo que estar preparado y así entrené mucho el wrestling y también la parte del suelo para poder pelear con él en esta parte y yo creo que él va a buscar. Y la mano derecha también es una cosa que él usa mucho, pega muy duro con esta mano derecha, entonces tengo que estar mirando por eso, pero veo que para mí la mejor parte de la pelea va a ser de pie y si llegamos al piso voy a estar preparado también para buscar submisiones.
Vicente, ¿cómo ves este 2021 en términos profesionales? ¿Sientes que este es el año en que la división finalmente entra en alerta por Vicente Luque?
Creo que sí, creo que ya están empezando a mirar mi nombre con otros ojos ahora. Yo creo que la división ve que yo de verdad estoy acá para tomar una buena posición y seguir subiendo y luego creo que voy a pelear por el título. Entonces yo creo que este año es un año muy importante donde voy a hacer muchas cosas y mostrar a todos los fanáticos y a UFC y a los 8 luchadores que estoy acá para ser campeón.
Finalmente, Vicente, ¿tienes algún mensaje para tus fans en Chile? Porque de seguro van a estar mirando este sábado, vamos a estar todos metiendo ruido.
Sí, para mí es muy especial tener Chile conmigo, tener todo el apoyo de los fanáticos chilenos. Es un orgullo tener las raíces chilenas y cargar el sangre de mi papá todas las veces que entro al octágono y representar este estilo latino de pelear. Es la manera que peleo con mucha agresividad, con muchas ganas de ganar. Y entonces agradecer a todos los fanáticos y pedirles que me estén apoyando el sábado de noche porque voy a darles un gran espectáculo.
Eso es lo que esperamos todos, Vicente. Muchas gracias por tu tiempo, éxito y viva Chile. Cuídate.
Gracias a ti, cuídate.
Thank you so much, Vicente. That is all the time we had for you, sir. We appreciate it.
Perfect, thank you. Appreciate it.